We're serving a company, but serving also the customers of a company. The transformation inside of a company is very slow and difficult. You have to be very careful what we're doing, and your tool is transforming the entire type of how the work is done, how the company is interacting with the customers, how teams are interacting internally. For conversation and the voice AI, we don't have any data, of course. Everything is private. We have to anonymize all the conversation, for example, or building big data sets. All the technological bricks, for example, that we are using or building, there was based on mostly on English language. So we have to build our own algorithm also, and also our own engine. We need people with real business understanding. So if it's not the case, go and jump to the AI accelerator. Everything is possible with good tools.
Welcome everyone. This is the AI at Scale podcast by Schneider Electric. My name is Gosia Górska and I'm the host of this program. Today I have a pleasure welcoming Katya Lainé. Welcome, Katya.
Hi, Gosia.
Hi.
Nice to be with you.
Yes, nice to have you. So Katya is the co-founder and the CEO of TALKR.ai, a company that is reshaping how customers are interacting with businesses today. For nearly a decade, Katya has been at the forefront of offering intelligent voice assistants, helping businesses deliver 24/7 customer engagement. She is a multi-founder at heart because not only she founded TALKR.ai, but also an OpenLLM France initiative that is dedicated to promoting open source, ethical standards, and transparency in AI development. She is also the co-founder and vice president of Le Voice Lab, advancing voice and language technology. Katya also serves on the board of Numeum as president of its AI Commission, actively championing responsible and high-impact AI adoption. She holds an MBA and a master's in broadcast journalism. So, Katya, my first question, what inspired you to create TALKR? Can you share the moment that sparked this initiative?
Well, it's like always, it's born from frustration, I would say, because I would start my company with my co-founder, my partner, 14 years ago. So we started building tools from mid-market companies to allow them to have access to tools. But back to 2010, 2011, there was the explosion of digital. But the small companies, mid-market companies, don't have this free or accessible access. So from there, we started to building tools, no-code tools, of course. And from there, we saw that when a company interacts with their customers, there's always like a wall between the customer and the company. So we see that there is a days without any interaction. So we started to say, okay, they have a little live chat proposition of tools, but what about to have immediately a little answer in order for the customer to be heard and to know that is okay, I'm the customer of this company. They are taking charge of me. So back to 2014, I'd say we starting to think about this automatic tools like chatbots. So the frustration and the business need, we heard the market.
Yeah, that's super interesting. And, I'm super curious to hear about your experiences as a founder, because when you started, it was actually prior to GenAI. So I guess you were facing some of the challenges, the hurdles of a very early stage of AI as well. How did you overcome them?
Yeah, as I said back at then, of course, there was AI, and like today, I'm often explaining that, of course, we are struggling with different types of things, but probably the same about lacking data, not having, for example, for conversation on the voice AI, we don't have any data. Of course, everything is private, and we working with companies. And when it comes to companies, it's very difficult to go and to have this access. We have to anonymize all the conversation, for example, or building big data sets to have them cleaning and structuring, etc., etc., and also about algorithms. Back at the days in French, for example, when we have to build a virtual assistant over the phone in 2015-16, all the technological bricks, for example, that we are using or building, there was based on mostly on English language. So of course, there was a solution for French, but there was not so much effective. So we have to build our own algorithm also, and also our own engine, NLP and NLU engine. So yeah, so we were struggling with all the technical stuff, but also, of course, it was very new. So we have to also to have this period of early find companies, early adoption innovation companies. So yeah, also the third thing, it's happening also today. Not about GenAI, it's also the proof. It's about transformation. So companies, because we are addressing companies, we are B2B2B and B2B2C companies. So we're serving a company, but serving also the customers of a company. And the transformation inside of a company is very slow and difficult. You have to be very careful what we're doing. And when your tool is transforming the entire type of how the work is done, how the company is interacting with the customers, how teams are interacting with internally the services, how the process of the interactions is done. So this is mostly three challenges we facing back then and now also, because it's the same.
It started with frustration. Then you spent some time to organize the technology, to find a solution to the frustration and propose the value to customers. So tell us a bit more about what the company is doing, what kind of solutions you are providing.
So TALKR have two major things. One, the no-code platform that enable companies to build very easily and manage virtual assistant, whatever the use cases, whatever the business the company have, for example, health, retail, etc. So this virtual assistant going to interact and pick up the phone, for example, 24/7, have a natural language conversation, and going to solving the customer inquiry, for example, in real time. That is what TALKR do. So there's so much use cases because, TALKR is acting to all customer journey and cycle, from marketing, sales, support, customer service, of course, to all the customer cycle. So there is, for these four jobs, tasks when we interact with customers, so we can solve and do it automatically. For example, for marketing purposes, we can qualify better the needs of the customer. We can call him with a virtual assistant, but not cold calling, for example. That is very difficult. But for example, asking some more questions, so we can propose the adequate offer, or very quickly schedule an appointment with a seller. For customer support, for example, in inbound calls, I'm talking about calls because it's more difficult doing calls than chatting. Everybody knows chatbots, okay? But over the phone, it's much more difficult to have this natural voice conversation.
Can you go a bit more into the details? I'm curious about, the types of companies who are using your solutions and more detailed use cases.
We help companies to pick up the phone 24/7 in retail, but also in IT support, or of course in storage and logistics. So what that means that, for example, for a storage company, we're going to we change 16 processes, for example, for 28 agencies. What that means? So when now the customers are calling the company 24/7, then we have all these virtual AI agents that are going to assist them to resolve, of course, their needs or their customers' inquiries. For example, if they're calling for an invoice, we're going to send them the invoice automatically without transferring the call. Or, for example, if they're blocked in front of their boxes, the virtual assistant at for example 11 o'clock 11 p.m. going to have this conversation to understand who the customer is, authenticate the customer, of course, because we have a connection of the CRM. And then probably if we see that the customer is not paying the box, so yeah, that's the reason that he blocked before the box, we're going to propose to be for the paying processes. So this is all in real time with the virtual system over the phone. So at the end of these processes, the customer can access the box, because we're going to assist them to A to Z to this process to be more self-served. So the company, what is interesting for the company, so it can help their customers 24/7, and of course automated I think 67% of all the processes in the company. And of course we in the working hours we're going to transfer for more for the questions needed more customer support from the staff. But at the end of the day, the customer satisfaction rise from 45%. So we will be able to help the company be more efficient with the customers. So another type of example is outbound calls. For example, we help companies to deliver when they're delivering, for example, their products, to call their customers and to be validating if the customers is be at home, and if this we have this validation from this point, the company can schedule the delivering process. So the impact, it's not only in the interaction parts, but we are also going to have an impact in the processes. So we're going to build the delivering process depending what we gather as information from the customer. So the impact is very important about also the company's internal process optimization from 35 to 45%. But in general, what we saw is the capability for us to be solving in real time without any interaction 32 to 92% of all customer inquiries in real time. And that is life-changing. That's why for us, for Talker, was to not only transforming interaction, transforming into growth, because the business is about to be very efficient right away, if it's possible, of course, but everything is possible with good tools.
And I know that one of the topics that is among your interests is the ethical and trustworthy AI. So do you have any examples where you have to solve some challenges around, how do we do it in a trustworthy way so the customer can actually trust the solution?
Yeah. Of course, I've been working on AI ethical topics from, I think, 2018. And the most interesting about ethics is that it's not practical, not theoretical. So for me, working, for example, on Numeum, the important thing was to have these tools for the ecosystem in order to help companies to have this I think, guide to help companies in their real processes for building AI solutions. Because developers, they don't know what AI ethics mean. We have to train them, we have to explain, have to work with data, etc. Or the manager of the project also. Everybody have a role inside of the company, so everybody have to pay attention how we manage the data, how we manage the customer interaction, etc. But beyond this, what is important, I would like to say that non-bias, the non-bias attitude for me was the more difficult to work with, because we realized that, for example, our society is based on biases. Okay, so companies, they have data. All the data, it's not. Yeah, it's biased, of course. So that's why when companies started to train and to have solutions, they were so racist, or I don't know, they promoted men's more than women's, etc. So we started to pay attention of this. So for me, that was the turning point.
I see. And I think this can be very interesting to our audience. If you could describe a day of a life of an AI founder, like what kind of activities are taking most of your time and attention daily?
So I have multi hats. So I don't know. Today, for example, I have this interview with you. It's very nice. That sparkles my day, and then I have to check my emails. Then I have some client meetings, of course. Then I have to meet probably my team, because we have to think about our R&D for the next 2 years, and probably follow some projects. We have some live going right now, so I'm going to check how the company it's looking at the results, etc. Seeing my accountant also. So I have many hats. So yeah, it's challenging.
I see. But you had a fascinating career. Basically, you transitioned from journalist to AI. So, can you tell us a bit more about your journey? And also, did it change how you approach doing business?
It's funny because I think it's very natural. That is what is happening with my yeah. I'm started, of course, doing journalism, and I very much like it, and that I have very entire training about every domain of the career, because journalists, they have to understand everything it's happening in the world. So and after that, I knew, of course, I'm coming from a family very business oriented, so I had this in my core. So I know that the business was what I wanted to do after, and I find it for myself. But being innovating and creating, and probably it's coming from also from who I am, because very proactive. So if I see something, I would like to change it and have an impact. So it's very natural. But the journalism and all the communication part of my first 20 years of my life, it's more about conversations still, and I found the conversation also, and the communication, and be in touch with people and understand them, because in the businesses and with the customers, it's all about also understanding and try to help them. So for me, it's like I'm doing the same thing differently, helping people differently, and having a business impact. It's what we try to do at Talker at high scale with companies. So yeah, on an everyday basis, it's like that.
And indeed, you mentioned you are proactive. So that's why you are not only the founder of one company, but also the co-founder of other organizations. And you mentioned several times about Numeum. So for those maybe who don't know, this is the organization of digital companies in France, representing platform players, software publisher, and digital service providers. And they are accounting for 85% of the sector's revenue in France. So can you tell us more about your role in Numeum?
Yes, so at Numeum, I'm a board member, so I'm elected from my peers. So yeah, we are active, and we help. Numeum is yeah, organization that helps the ecosystem. So we have this influence from building the social tools, but also technological tools. So we work from inside with our peers to building what the future of technology is, of course, because there's AI, but there are also, for example, quantum. There's also open source and other type of technology. The cybersecurity is very at the heart of what we're looking for to develop a better way to use them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. And well, my last question would be about your advice. So, what would you advise to people who are preparing to lead companies in the tech and AI space? Do you have some success criteria, success advice that something that worked for you?
So if it's not the case, go and jump to the AI accelerator, because it's going to be faster and faster, and it's transforming very dramatically. Not only, of course, the way we work, but also the way we're living, and we need to have. People with the understanding of the world, of course, not only about the technology, because I think AI now at a point we need people with real business understanding. So join us, and if it's not the case, because this is so transformating, so prepare yourselves. And I think for the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to see the transformation about competence. So we're going to see some changes, and we have to be very careful also about how our companies going to prepare our employees to be more prepared to this transformation, to how we work.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you so much, Katya. It was great to hosting you today.
Thank you very much, Gosia. Have a nice day.
Thanks. And to everyone who is listening, thank you so much for joining us. This was the AI at Scale podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform and discover the next episodes. Thank you.